Hello everyone, welcome back to Tony Sports Games for another tutorial video for this game from Wolverine Studios Draft Day Sports College Football 2026. It's been a little while since I uploaded another tutorial. I've been working on a different project where the videos can't go up yet, but it's been a lot of fun. There's a few other content creators, including myself, and a few of the team at Wolverine Studios that had suggested doing kind of a playthrough, taking turns doing a playthrough of the same team, the same season, same roster, same schedule, same everything. So several of us are taking turns playing through the season, creating some videos as we go along, and then we can compare people's results, what our strategies were, what worked for some of us, what didn't work, who did the best win-loss record, who has the best recruiting class. So a little friendly competition there, and hopefully everybody learns a lot. So it's been a lot of fun. I've been filming some of those videos as I go through my playthrough, but it's taken obviously my time away from doing tutorials. So I wanted to hop back in here and do a tutorial on another part of the game, and this is a part of the game that took a big leap forward this year with the addition of more analytical tracking statistics and data as the season goes along, in terms of both offense and defense. I think I'll mostly focus on offense in this video. So I want to do a video basically showing how you can use data as your season goes along to improve your offensive playbooks. So here I have our tutorial team, the Kentucky Wildcats, loaded up, and I'm just going to go ahead and sim through, let's say, 5 games. Okay, so we're 5 games into the season, almost halfway. We're 4-1. Now you probably want to make some tweaks before 5 games into the year, but I just wanted to get a little bit of a sample size of data. So what I have set up so far here is I just have one playbook for the offense and one playbook for the defense. Okay, now you probably want to run more than one, especially as you get deeper into the game. You have the ability to run a different playbook for all these different down and distance scenarios, and it can be very useful in this game to not just use one offensive playbook. For third and fourth and long. Hopefully you're not in fourth and long many times during a season where you're forced to go for it, but third and long, fourth and long, you probably don't need a playbook of 30 pass plays and 20 running plays. I probably want mostly a few long and medium passing plays that I think might work in that situation. I don't want a screen pass on fourth and long. I've learned from painful experience how poorly that works. Likewise, you can install a short yardage playbook for third and fourth and short, and maybe for the goal line. If you have a lot of 2 tight ends you like to use, or a running quarterback, or whatever the system you like to use is, you could have a different red zone playbook. But for our tutorial here, I just have one. So I'm five games into the year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my playbook. Now I have a very, very large playbook, 101 plays. Probably too many, but I just threw a bunch of things in here to get a good variety. So what I would like to do is, if I'm several weeks into the season and I haven't even called these plays at all, if I have extra plays to burn, which here obviously I do, I'm just going to get rid of all these ones that have only been called 0 or 1 times. Okay, so that knocks out about, 16 plays. Now, what your target number you want to get down to is, that's totally up to you. I've seen people use some very slim playbooks of, no more than 10 to 15 pass plays and maybe 10 to 12 running plays. I usually have a little bit more than that in mind, but it's really up to you. The other thing I would do is I would definitely sort by average gain. And any of these plays that have been called multiple times and are not gaining any yards, or they're barely gaining any yards, I'm just going to trash them altogether. And maybe you want to take some more time and look into like the standard deviation. Maybe there's been some good results on the play once, but the other 2 times it hasn't been good, or if it's been called 3 times. But for our purposes here, I have plenty of extra plays to burn, so I'm just going to burn everything that's gained 3 or less yards. Okay, then I would come through here. If I wanted to adjust this even more, I could sort by the highest average gain. Maybe some of these plays I want to run more. Like here's a pass play we've had some great success with. Maybe I want to bump, let's say, the top 5 passing plays. Okay, so quick screen. I mean, what a play this is for us. This is a short play design on the screen pass. Called it 7 times, averaging 14.6. So it's obviously has quite a high standard deviation, but there's been at least one or multiple occasions where we've busted this for a huge play. So, let's say I just want to bump these top 5. Let's see, there's one with a little less. Yeah, this is pretty good. A little lower standard deviations. Let's say I want to bump these, and then let's say I want to do the same thing with 5 of my running plays that are working really well. So, this is without really taking the standard deviation into much account, but let's say I just wanted to bump a few of these best plays up. Let's look for another running play here. Counter left hasn't been called a lot, so let's get it on the board a few more times. And how about this one? Okay, so we bumped up about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So about 5 and 5. Then what you can do, so let's go ahead and sim a couple more weeks here. And you can do this week by week in your games, but just for our purposes here, obviously this is a big game at LSU. See, did we pull it out? We did. Wow, we won at LSU. That's terrific. So now we played a couple more games, and you want to repeat this, whether it's every week, every couple weeks, whatever you feel comfortable with. So let's go back in here and let's do the same thing again. So let's sort by average gain. We have some plays that have been called a few more times, and you see we've got a few here at the bottom that are just not successful at all. Let's trim these out. I've still got plenty of plays to burn this season. Let's trim these out. This one, let's trim this one out too. If this was being used just as a short yardage playbook, maybe this isn't the end of the world. It's pretty low standard deviation. But we have a sack on it, so let's just get rid of it. Any plays we've thrown multiple interceptions? No. Any plays we've given up multiple sacks? Ooh, right here. So slants under. You could delete this since you've given up 2 sacks, or you could decide to keep it because we've also scored 2 touchdowns on it. So we trim a few more plays off. Then let's go up here and sort by average gain again. You see this one, some of these that I had bumped up have continued to be up towards the top. Let's go down and see where some of these have fallen down a little bit. So let's say I want to bump that back to 1. It's under 4.5 yards. 4 yards is not terrible for a inside running play, but let's say I just want to bump that down. Pro set off tackle right. I mean, it's still at 5.5 yards a carry, so I would leave that in. And as you go along through the season, you can come back to this every 1 to 2 weeks as your sample size of data increases. Continue to trim your playbook. Maybe if you get down below a number of plays you feel comfortable with, you want to go back and add some more in. You can always do that. Week to week, as you look at your matchup with the opponent, you can see what their defense does well, what they struggle against. Maybe that can impact your play calling for a week temporarily, or whatever the case may be. If I was to self-scout my own defense, if I was playing against the Kentucky defense, I could look at opposing offenses, plays they have run against my Kentucky defense that have been successful, and maybe I want to go down here. Okay, people have run this play against them 4 times. It's been pretty good. Let's see if we can find a play that's been successful with a fairly low standard deviation that's been called more than a couple times. Let's see, right here. Here's a great one. RB off tackle left out of the I formation. It's been called against me 5 times this year for a 9.6 yard average with a pretty low standard deviation. If I was playing against myself, maybe I add that to my playbook for this week. Or if it's already in my playbook, if it's a play that I run fairly well, maybe I bump it up. So anyway, there's a lot of depth to this you can go into. I think what I'll do next is talk a little bit more about making specialized playbooks for specialized situations and how that can help us be more efficient on offense as the season goes along. Anyway, I think that's all for now, but I hope this was helpful for you guys as you look at your playbooks on offense as the season goes along. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next... Hold up. We have an outro now? Nice.